All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet marketing world, we out here, ladies and gentlemen. Look what I got. I got a crazy foot mat that you
Woo!
stand on and it massages your feet at your standing desk. And guess what? I'm still sitting down. I didn't like it. Not using it. Not a great product, honestly. And have this standing desk. Don't use it that much. Just tend to sit, even though it goes up and down. I can press this little button, goes up and down. Nope, find myself sitting. But you know what I am happy to be sitting down for is a presentation on conversion rate optimization from one of the baddest motherfuckers in the game, Ollie Kenyon. And I've said this on our presentations before, which is I rose to prominence in the e-commerce industry in about 2011, 2012 for specifically my skills at e-commerce conversion rate optimization and driving profitable sales through paid advertising and building out. I was like one of the first people to, and now everyone has done this, but truly scale advertorial marketing online. So, everyone's got their 5 tips article now, their pre-sale articles. That was me. And I pioneered a bunch of digital marketing best practices for e-commerce businesses. And, something interesting happens as you scale your business. You frankly can't do everything yourself. You just can't. I started as a do-it-yourself entrepreneur with no money, and I was doing everything myself. And then I outsource customer support and I outsource video editing until the very end. I hung on to paid advertising and sales funnel optimization because it was like what I really loved. But it turns out, just like everything else, when you are a business owner and you are worrying about supply chain and logistics and payroll and HR and team and advertising, and you just, you can only be so effective at any one discipline when you're overseeing everything. So I became the navigator of the ship, not the driver of the car. And it took me a long time to go from driver to navigator full time. I would do one day of navigating, 4 days of driving, all the way down to the point now where I don't do anything other than directionally navigate. Like when you're navigating, you can see what's coming up in the distance. And when you're driving the car, you can't. You can only see the next turn in front of you. And so I had to find somebody to drive the car for me when it came to optimization of my brands. And I went through 6 different conversion agencies over 4 years. And the last one that I worked with and the one that I'm still working with to this day is ConversionWise because they're awesome. They can design direct response, amazing landing pages. They just banged out 3 crazy landing pages for Boom that we're really
I've
excited to
seen
test.
them, they're sexy,
They
yeah.
can run split tests for you. They go in and they do surveys, they do research, they do data analysis. It's not just, hey, we think this is going to work. It's we think this is going to work because we took the time to understand your customers, understand who you're selling to, understand essentially where you fit in the marketplace. And then based on that, we're going to tweak your messaging or we're going to tweak your layout or we think we should try this. So um, they're great. They're great at it. They do it all day long. And I'm really happy to share. Well, I'm not going to be sharing anything. I'm going to be sitting here listening with you, all the cool stuff that Ollie and his team are doing. And hopefully he's got some examples for my businesses. I'm not sure what his examples are at this
We
moment,
do.
but yeah, look forward to seeing that. And I know just to not, this isn't a pitch. Like the goal here is you come, you consume this content and you are inspired to implement something in your business. Don't have to buy anything from us. And we're happy. And that's like the way in which we market our businesses is we add value to the marketplace and we do that with an open heart and we do our best. And then hopefully you get something out of it. And eventually somebody might want to do business with us. You might want to buy Zipify app software. You might want to hire Ollie to do a landing page design for you or do conversion rate optimization for you. You might want to join Smart Marketers Mastermind. All that would be wonderful. There's no pressure though. And with that, but I will say, I think Ollie, you're going to mention you've got an opening or something in your agency,
Sure,
which you're
we've
going to
got
mention.
something
So
coming up for these guys,
if
of
you
course.
have, if you're interested in a service provider, I think he's the best. With that said, enough of my rambling and pitching. Ollie, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you rock and roll, buddy.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Ezra, we owe so much to you. As like you said, a kind of forefather of that CRO stuff. I remember when I got started, it was all Ezra, 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 and I'm now very, very proud and honored to not only have you as a client, but as a friend as well. So thank you for putting me on this platform, guys. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. One thing I can promise you is that it's going to be insightful and you're going to go away with some serious, actionable information that you can go and action on your business. As Ezra said, we never pitch, we don't sell anything. I just purely like the notion of giving value, and hopefully that comes back to me. I believe in karma. So hey, let's get into this, guys. Just by a way of comments, if you can go into the chat and just let me know that you can see my screen, that's really important before I start, because otherwise I'd be talking to a blank space. So can you all see my screen? You can see this nice little slide here with a beautiful picture of Ez. Perfect. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, guys. So today I am going to show you how to unlock the biggest conversion rate optimization wins. But just before I get into that, what are you going to learn across the course of this workshop? First and foremost, I feel it is purely my duty. As Ezra said, this is what he was doing. He was banging this drum many years ago. I feel like maybe this is a passing of the torch, and I feel honestly very responsible in this e-com space to shine that torch brightly and showcase the power of conversion rate optimization. So I'm going to show you that. Then I'm going to show you the effective framework. I'm not just going to jump straight into the case studies and say, oh, look what we've done for Ezra and other brands. We're amazing. No, I'm going to show you how we actually came up with the hypothesis, how we analyze the data, how we actually create tests so you can go and do it yourself. Then, of course, we're all sticking around. Let's be honest. We're all here for the big case studies. Ezra has been kind enough to give me permission to showcase actual case studies from his businesses. So before and after designs, exactly why we ran the test and the results. So over $3 million worth of winning tests for Ezra's brands. And I've got some special bonuses on top of that, some more case studies that I've never shared before. So stick around. Let's get into it. Feel free to use the chat as we go through the workshop. I will be doing a QA at the end. Ezra may have to shoot off. That's fine. I'm here until you need me, guys. So use that Q&A. So very, very quickly, if you've not heard of me or ConversionWise before, just got to get this out of the way. Just so you know, I'm authoritative to be lucky enough to speak to you guys today. I founded ConversionWise alongside my co-founder in 2012. We've been doing this for a long time. We're a team of 70 plus CRO specialists. That's a range of designers, data analysis, developers, copywriters, QA experts, you name it, we've got it in our team. We've worked with over 3,500 plus brands over the past 12 years. And of course, Ezra's brands are my favorite and continue to be so. We've designed more than 7,500 landing pages, more landing pages than any other agency on this planet. We've run thousands of split tests and very, big-headedly, I have to share this, but we are the top 3 Shopify CRO agencies rated worldwide and the number 1, something I'm very proud of, highest rated CRO agency on Trustpilot. But enough about that. Let's get into the content of today. But I must admit that after 12 years and over 500 5-star reviews, this was the best, single-handedly best review I've ever had. And a review that almost brought me to tears. I'm not going to lie. This is a review that Ezra filmed famously when he was training for, I think it was like a jiu-jitsu camp. He was sweating away in the gym and he sent me this video and it literally brought me to tears because Ezra said he'd finally found an agency that he believed he'd be with for the rest of his career. And the fact that he stated we made him a couple of $100,000 in the first 4 months was just amazing, truly amazing. Big highlight of my career over 12 years. So introducing conversion rate optimization. I am sure that everyone knows what conversion rate optimization is, but let's just quickly recap. It's commonly known as CRO. It's an approach where we make various adjustments and improvements to our website, whether they're big or small swings, and we'll get into what you should be doing here. But the whole point is to increase a specific metric, a specific desire, whether that's average order value, whether that's conversion rates. Genuinely, we will track a mix of two. So everyone as brands are fixated over conversion rates. I can get this conversion rate. What you want to be focused on 9 times out of 10 is revenue per visitor or revenue per session. So write that down, revenue per visitor or revenue per session. And what that is a mix between your conversion rate and your average order value, because I could 100,000% guarantee I could improve all of your conversion rates in about 2 minutes. All I need to do is slash your prices. If I half your prices, your conversion rate shoots up, but you're actually making less per visitor. So what you need to focus on is that revenue per visitor. I had this graphic originally designed when my elder kind of grandparent asked me what I did for a living. And I was like, how can I explain this to someone who's not up with technology, who doesn't buy online? And I had this graphic designed and we later put it on our website and on our workshops. But I think this is the simplest of ways of explaining the power of conversion rate optimization. Every single one of you pretty much will be doing paid ads. You'll be driving paid media to your store. And without CRO, you are literally throwing money into a leaky bucket. There are leaks in that bucket and the cash is coming out the other way. When you start to optimize your store with CRO and the power of CRO, you are gaining that revenue. You are making more per person coming to your site, so the cash starts to build up. And I believe this is probably the best way to visualize this. I personally, and of course, I'm going to be pro CRO. I've done this for 12 years. I've seen the results. I get results for people. But I personally believe that there is nothing more powerful to move the profitability of a user on your store than conversion rate optimization in the whole of ecom. Forget paid media, forget email, forget retention, forget it. You will make marginally more profit per person that comes to your store as a customer or a potential customer when you optimize your site. And here's a quick example. Let's say the revenue per click of an unoptimized site is $1.20. The difference when you optimize the site without increasing your ad spend is astronomical. You can start making, say, for example, $3.80 per person that comes to your site with a increased conversion rate without increasing ad spend. So these are the same people that go into your store. And I know I'm banging on the same drum. You're going to get fed up of me saying this before we get to these case studies, but I just want you to understand as a business owner, even in 2025, more so than ever, when the competitive landscape is so hard, when you have tariffs coming in, when you have Trump threatening this or that, when you have world wars starting, it's a crazy environment, and we get to see the pressure of it as we work with brands every single day. But this is how you're going to make that incremental increase in that profit per person. Again, another quick example. Let's pitch CRO, the same people coming to your site, against what most brands tend to focus on: scaling ad spend or testing creative. Cost per click is high, conversion rate doesn't increase that much, but you could literally double your conversion or your revenue per session overnight by focusing on optimizing your site, by taking bigger swings, and you can see that the revenue just jumps. And that is bottom line revenue. That's just literally profit per person back into your back pocket. So it's so, so powerful. Did I do a good enough job, hopefully, explaining why I'm still, after 12 years, so passionate about conversion rate optimization? Hopefully I did. Let's have a quick look at the approach. So this is something that I get asked a lot, okay? When should I be doing CRO? When does it become effective enough to do A/B testing? And I think this landscape has changed in the last 6 to 12 months due to those external factors, due to ever since things like iOS 14 tracking came in, so it's harder to attribute. CPMs are increasing. You guys all know this. You run brands. I don't need to tell you the challenges you're facing as a brand. So this is the benchmark that we now set. And this is a new kind of update internally that we've realized when it comes to where we put brands within our solution. So we have several solutions at ConversionWise. As I mentioned, I'm going to give you an exclusive opportunity at the end. I won't say anything about that right now, but we have several solutions, and we always now will bucket people into those two solutions based on sessions. So if you have in 2025 right now under 300,000 sessions per month, then you are far better taking much bigger swings. And I'll explain what those bigger swings look like. There are 6 to 8 things that will move your brand to enable to scale enough where comprehensive and what I kind of call like full CRO becomes very, very powerful. If you are over 300,000 sessions per month, this is a typical ecom brand, bear in mind that your conversion rate's good enough and you're getting enough orders, then you have enough data to quantify what we would call comprehensive full CRO. So this is where you would say what we would typically call conversion rate optimization: A/B testing, data analysis, long audits, and really diving into the data. But if you are under, which I would predict maybe the majority of you are on this session, then you are far better off taking bigger swings. And I will show you exactly what that looks like now. So under 300,000 sessions, and trust me, guys, 12 years, thousands of brands, time and time again, we've done this. This is what will move the needle for your business, okay? These 8 things. Landing page design concepts. So landing pages work. You just heard Ezra say we've just created 3 new landing pages for his brand. Now his brand is bigger than this, but landing pages will work. If you are not using LPs, if you are not looking into listicles, sales pages, advertorials, if you are not trying different angles, which is so, so important, I put here, then you are literally leaving money on the table. If you are driving media straight to PDPs or product pages or home pages or collection pages, you are literally leaving money on the table. You need to put a step in between post click and store landing. And that is a landing page. That is where people will click an ad, they'll go on a page, they'll be pre-sold, and then they will go through to what we call your money pages, your product pages, your collection pages. You need to be testing listicles and advertorials. Again, we've got some examples of these coming up, but if you don't know what they are, a listicle is where it's like something like top 5 reasons why people are loving this new supplement. An advertorial is more of a content piece where it's written in either first or third party perspective around reviewing a particular product, but pre-educating people through content. PDP designs, bigger swings. So no longer under those 300,000 sessions should you be testing the color of a button or an image above the fold or a small snippet of text. You need to be taking much, much bigger swings. PDP redesigns based on data. And the data bit's really important, and we'll get into that in a minute. Offer testing, okay? So you need to be testing on a month-to-month basis different offers. Buy one, get one free. 3 for the power of 2. Build a bundle pages. Different price points, test price testing as well. There's an amazing tool called Intelligems. They're sponsoring our conversion rate conference that we've got in a couple of weeks. Test it out or work with us and we'll run it for you. But you should be doing price testing. These are the things that move the needle. Free shipping and price test within your cart and checkout. So trying to boost your average order value with free shipping prompts and gamifying the cart, which I'll show you shortly. Post-purchase upsells and surveys, using Zipify. It's a great way of doing these things as well. And I would definitely recommend doing that. And then add creative alignment. So matching your landing page messaging for congruency to your creative. If your creative does not speak to your LP or your landing page, then again, you are losing money. So this is where you need to be if you're under that 300,000 sessions. And we'll go into more detail. If you are over, comprehensive CRO still works and still is the most powerful thing you can do to generate more revenue per visitor. Comprehensive audits, so proper deep diving into qualitative and quantitative research, isolated A/B tests, so small A/B tests with incremental increases in revenue per visitor, a high experiment velocity. So make sure you're doing like 4 to 8 A/B tests per month because you have the data. What happens if you don't have the data is you don't have enough people going through a test to quantify if it's a winning or a losing test. And we'll get into A/B tests shortly. A full data stack, so doing full GA4 analysis, heat map analysis, survey analysis, session recordings, creating full roadmaps and frameworks. This is what we do all day, every day. This is what we do for Ezra's brands. Learning from your wins, taking a bit more time to see why tests lose, and then implementing changes in future tests, and then cross-functional teamwork. So working with designers, developers, copywriters, CRO strategists, etc. But this happens when you have a high volume of people coming through those tests. Let's talk about data. Guys, did that slide make sense? Give me a little thumbs up or a 1 in the chat if this is all making sense. A show. Love it. Cool. We got some ones. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Guys, thank you. As I mentioned, if something doesn't make sense, I am here for you. I am here to help. So please just put some questions in the chat. I will either get to them during the session or I'll get to them at the end. Let's have a look at data. The single-handedly the most important thing in your arsenal when it comes to conversion rate optimization. Okay. Firstly, let's start with quantitative. Almost caught me out. Quantitative data. So quantitative data provides the hard numbers and metrics. So basically, it shows you what is happening on your website. These are tools like GA4, heat maps, session recordings, but it shows you exactly what from a data perspective. So the numbers. Okay, here are what we would say are must-dos when it comes to quantitative data analysis on your stores. And I bolded the non-negotiables. So if you walk away from this workshop and you don't take anything on board, just take on board things that I bolded. That's all I ask of you, because these are the essentials that are going to really help you optimize your store. So I'll go through the essentials because I think they're more important. especially even if you are under those 300,000 sessions. This is where you need an agency like mine, or you need to go and spend the time and resource to go and do this yourself. You should be doing funnel and drop off analysis. You don't need to do full GA or tracking software analysis if you're under 300,000 sessions, but you should be looking at which point in your funnel are people dropping off. If you have straight from ad to PDP, then you need to analyze your PDP, your cart, your checkout, your thank you page, your upsell, whatever, if you're using OCU or Zipify, and look at where people are dropping off. Analyze why they're dropping off, and we'll get into the why in a minute. Heat map analysis. So again, everyone, whether you're doing 10,000 sessions or 10 million sessions, should have PDP is product page. So your product page. If you're doing 10,000 or 10 million sessions per month, you need to install a heat map. Various ones we recommend. Clarity is free. It's not the best. It's quite laggy, but I would install Clarity by Microsoft. Shout out to Dylan Ander, one of my partners. He has a software called heatmap.com. Very, very good because it will track based on revenue and not just clicks. But you need to be doing heat map analysis. Where are people clicking? Where are people scrolling to? What scroll depth do they get to? Because I guarantee you, we see this so many times, that so many of you are hiding important information below the fold. We get it all the time where people are like, okay, I say to them, brands, what's your most important selling factor? Oh, the fact that we're vegan friendly, we've just won this award and we have 10,000 reviews. Okay, well, where does it say it on your homepage? Oh, it says it just above the footer. And I install heat map software, and about 6% of your audience will see it. So you need to be analyzing scroll. You need to be looking into false clicks. False clicks are basically where people are clicking, or rage clicks. They're clicking where they think an element is, say, for example, a button or a link, and it's not. It's just styled in that manner. We've seen massive uplifts and wins in high volume stores just eliminating false clicks. Price and offer testing. I go back to that slide around under 300,000 sessions. The way you scale on paid media effectively is by finding your offer. What sells through cold media? What sells profitably through buying media online? Moving on to qualitative data. So if quantitative is the what, qualitative is the why. So it goes beyond the numbers to explain why people are doing it. Surveys, post-purchase feedback, usability testing. Let's have a look at those non-negotiables here. Again, there's more qualitative data that you need to do under 300,000 sessions. If you're over, you should be doing all of this as a non-negotiable. You will make drastically more money if you are doing all of these over 300. If you're under, the ones in bold are the ones you need to focus on. User testing and usability studies. So actually getting people to go onto your site and surveying them and doing proper user testing, user interviews as well. You should be calling your customers. My CROs, my team, we do this for Ez. We will literally pick up the phone to your customers and we will quiz them. Why did you purchase? Did you have a good experience purchasing on the store? Was there anything that wasn't clear? We will literally speak to your customers. If you're not doing that, you should do. Get feedback. Customer surveys and feedback loops are essential. Two things you need to do. Again, non-negotiable. I think number one is probably single-handedly the most effective way to optimize your store. Set up post-purchase surveys. If you don't have them, do it. Do it now. Do it after this workshop. Go and do it. Use KnoCommerce, KNO Commerce. Set up post-purchase surveys. Ask at least these two questions. One, what made you purchase today? Two, what made you almost not purchase today? The first question is going to give you some really nice insights. Hey, I purchased because I wanted to lose weight. The second question is literally going to give you gold that you can utilize on the front end to turn more clicks into customers. Because that question will give you answers like, oh, I just didn't know how long it would take to see results with your supplement. Okay, well, we can take that answer and then we can change the copy or the angle on the front end of your site to say, see noticeable results in the first 6 weeks. Boom. You see how all of a sudden more people are going to be buying your product. The other one is if you don't have a post-purchase survey set up already, but you have a pool of your list who you want to go and survey, just set up a one-time survey. Use something like Typeform, whatever it may be, and send out an email to your VIP and your customers asking them the really important questions around getting some feedback around your product and your store, and just offer them the chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card. You'd be amazed at how many people fill out your post-purchase and your surveys when you send them out. Again, if you need help with this, we have an offer for you at the end. I can do that, or my team can do that for you. Here's a question for you guys. Whilst I have a sip of my drink, in the chat, how many of you have purchased from your own store in the past 4 weeks, in the past month? How many people have actually bought their own product from their own store? Let's see. We've got some notes. I like the honesty. Yes, we've got a couple of yeses coming in. Yes. Always test. Lovely. Yes. No. 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 Daily. Wow. Love it. Very cool. Okay. One exercise you can do is just go and do that. Again, write this down. Do this on mobile, desktop, tablet. Test the whole heuristic experience of your store. Test your own user experience. Go and hand your mobile phone to your 70-year-old grandma and watch her buy your product. And you will spot some fucking annoying things. The amount of stores that we go on and we ask people to test their own, buy from their own store. And there's just these annoying bugs with exit pops or cookie modals that appear above the CTA on product pages, or you're in cart and the cookie bar still shows and it's overlaying the button and it's really hard to click the button. Go and do it on mobile, go and do it on all devices and test your own stores. You 100% need to do full UX UI audits and make sure that it's a nice buying experience. And last but not least, as a non-negotiable, if you have reviews, if you have over 500, 1,000 reviews, go and do review mining. All that means is exporting your reviews into a CSV, uploading it to a GPT or an AI, and basically just prompting it to find different things, commonalities, tone of voice, buzzwords, key phrases, friction points, objections. Go and find all of those things so that you can answer them on the front end. It's exactly the same as the post purchase and customer surveys. So go and do that now, guys. When you combine these two bits of data, the qualitative and the quantitative, you find out what's happening and why it's happening. And this combined data will give you what you need to then set up effective conversion rate optimization, whether it's through landing pages, offer price testing, or it's through comprehensive A/B testing at a velocity if you're a bigger store. So you need to do these two things in full. And whenever you work with us, on the higher side, if you're over 300,000 sessions, we'll do a full comprehensive audit. We'll spend 2-3 weeks doing that audit, and we'll come to you with about a 100-page document of our findings around your audience, their wants, their objections, their friction points, their needs. And it will unearth so much about your business that you can utilize not just on site, but on ads, on retention, etc. But even on the lower side, under 300,000 sessions, do those ones that are bolded, non-negotiables. It's going to take you about a week or two to gather the data, and then you can make more informed decisions. Speaking of informed decisions, let's have a look at the strategy when it comes to CRO. So there's 3 things that we always look for when we're creating a hypothesis or an A/B test idea, basically. One is the change. So what do we plan to alter? Very simple. 2 is the expected outcome. Now, we can only have this expected outcome if we actually do our research enough. We do that data analysis enough. So what's the results that we anticipate and the rationale? Again, the data backs the rationale. Why do we believe this is going to change? Well, because all our post-purchase surveys said that people didn't realize how long it would take to get results with the supplement. Therefore, we're going to create a section just below the fold that says, this is how quickly you can see results with our supplement. It's very, very simple. Nothing to do with CRO is complicated. It's just putting the pieces of data together and using common sense. It's all around human psychology, user buying psychology, and that's how you tap into effective CRO. What we do here internally is we will do all that research. We will then create a framework here. We use the PXL framework. It's not ours. We're not going to pretend we invented it. It's very, very simple. We'll put it into a leaderboard. So when you have all your test ideas from that data, you put the test ideas down here. You put a score of 1 to 10 here. So is it above the fold? Is it noticeable in 5 seconds? What's the ease of implementation? And then you rank it via the highest score. And that's basically where you should start, because it's going to be the easiest to implement, the biggest impact, and it's going to be noticeable and above the fold. Let's talk about testing before we get into those case studies, guys. Let's talk about testing. Okay, so a few foundational principles. I didn't want to make this too long, but I promised you, after 12 years, I really do feel a proper responsibility to show you this stuff first before I just go, hey, look at what you can do with CRO, because it's not easy. Yes, it's common sense. Yes, you can do it, but it's not easy. You need to rely on that data. You need to have the right foundations and frameworks in place to effectively get results like we do for Ezra. That didn't happen overnight, guys, and I'll show you in a minute. So typically, we're talking here about an A/B test, but it could be A, B, C, D. You could be testing 3 variations. You could be doing multivariate testing. We can talk about that in detail shortly. Multivariate testing should only be done at high volume. But you have a control, which is your current version versus the variation. Whether that's 3 variations, it doesn't matter. Statistical significance is important, and a good CRO testing tool will tell you statistical significance. But what's more important is power, because what stat power means is it's based on a big enough data set to say that that test is proven to make you more money. Okay, so if a statistical significance is, for example, flipping a coin 3 times and 2 times it landing on heads, and then the software going, heads is better. It's going to convert way, way better because it's statistically significantly more that heads has come up than tails. But what power means is you've done that test enough at enough velocity that you can prove it's actually going to do it. Because if we flip that coin another 10 times, it could be tails all the times. So we need to make sure we have enough data set to do that. As far as sample sizing, we would always run 50 to 100 case sessions through a test, depending on where that test would be. Duration of tests should typically last from 2 to 4 weeks. We like to run, especially on the comprehensive, so over 300,000 sessions, tests for at least 2 weeks, because we don't want external factors to alter the test. For example, run it 2 Mondays, 2 Tuesdays, 2 Wednesdays, 2 Thursdays. If your competitor, and there's only 2 of you in the market, all of a sudden has a sale on a Monday, your test is going to go down on a Monday, and you may make a rash decision, kill the test, but it could have been a winning test. So run it over a couple of weeks just to get it, and obviously randomize that test as well. Couple of best practices for you. Always have a clear hypothesis. So always have a predefined measurable test that you want to do. I think this listicle is going to convert better because X, Y, and Z. Try and avoid conflicting tests if you are doing a velocity of small A/B tests. So if you are a high volume store, try to avoid doing multiple tests on the PDP at the same time, for example. You can still do like a homepage test and a cart test because they're far apart. You can do above the fold test with a below the fold test. But to be honest with you, 80% of our tests are focused on that bigger swing and above the test, above the fold, because that's really what's going to drive the revenue increase. QA your tests. I know this sounds stupid. We have a full development department in-house and QA department, but we still get it wrong. Humans are humans, even with the advantage of AI. Bugs happen. So just make sure you go and QA your test. Do it twice, do it 3 times before you set it live, because of course a bug in your test is going to show negative results when it could have been a winning test if you actually QA'd it. And always, as I mentioned at the beginning, prioritize revenue over conversion rate. We talk about conversion rate all the time, conversion rate optimization, conversion rate. We own the conversionrateconference.com. We own the conversionrateacademy.com. We are cool ConversionWise. We are conversions. But don't forget, you want to be focused on revenue per session or revenue per visitor, not just your conversion rate. Woo! Guys, I managed to cram that into 30 minutes, which means we have 20 to 30 minutes now for the exciting case studies. Over 3 million in tests of Ezra. I'm then going to show you some extra case studies that I've never shown before and give you guys a special chance to work with us here at ConversionWise. I can't wait, guys. Who's excited? Who's ready for the case studies? Let me know in the chat. Are we ready for those
Out
case
here
studies?
using words like heuristic. And if that doesn't tell you he's fancy, I don't know what does.
You fancy, huh? Right. Who's ready for the tests? Me. Lovely. Yes, 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 yes. Guys, I need some more yeses before we get into these tests. Come on. Ezra's given us permission to share all of these tests, before and
Yeah,
after
this is,
designs,
I mean, look,
everything.
here's the deal, y'all, is like, this is, are you sharing any losers or are they all winners?
I'm going to cover how many we ran and which lost, but I'm going to
Okay,
share all the winners
so
because I
look,
want people to be clear that tests lose for sure.
For sure. And it's like no matter how good you are, there's going to be losers.
Yeah.
But if you don't test, there's not going to be winners. And so these are some of our winners that we're super grateful for and super happy about. And that, I stepped away from one of my brands and had new leadership involved that Ollie was running CRO on. And a bunch of the winning tests got overwritten. And so one of the things we're doing right now is going back and just putting them back.
Yep.
And so a win is a win, and usually a win will stick into perpetuity. So pretty exciting. Can't wait to see him.
Thank you, brother. Right, guys, I have to put this here because, again, I am not that overnight guru. I am not here today and gone tomorrow. I've been doing this for 12 years. I do not want to pull the wool over your eyes and go, all of these tests are going to work. Go and implement them in your store. They're going to make so much more money. You're going to come and thank me and buy me some champagne. No, that's not the truth. As Ezra rightly said, in CRO, more tests lose than win. If you're getting around a 30 to 35% hit rate on winning tests, you are doing very, very well. However, those winning tests outweigh the losing tests times 100. When you implement them, when they make incremental increases in revenue per visitor, and that compounds month on month, year on year, you are making hell of a lot of money. So let's look into this. So Ezra's being kind enough to let us share the case studies that we worked on and still are working on around his brand Boom. So Boom Beauty, just for a little bit of knowledge, if you aren't aware, if you've been under a rock and you don't know what Boom is by Ez, it was founded in 2010. It's a pro-age makeup and skincare brand. I think this is really important because it's very important to align with your demographic. And this is a pro-age makeup brand. It's not, young people. It's very much of an older demographic for pro-age. And I love that they con that category very, very well. Sells millions of items globally a year, generates over 8 figures in revenue. And most importantly for everyone on this workshop, because you get to lift the lid on this in Trust ConversionWise, my agency, with their conversion rate optimization. Okay, winning tests, bring in the confetti. Winning test number one, guys. I am going to show you the results, the before and afters. I'm going to run you through the test. This is a mega menu test. So for those of you who don't know what a mega menu is, when you're on a store, you click the breadcrumb on mobile or on desktop, top right typically, or top left, and it will drop down and show you a menu. Now, to preset this, whenever you have new customers to your store, if you ever do any user session recordings, you will see that most of those new visitors, if they're directed to a homepage or a store page, will click the mega menu. And the reason is they want to see what's on display. They want to see what options you have. What are your categories? What are your products? And this was a test that we did for Ez. You can see the previous design here, very typical of like a default Shopify theme where you just have boring links. Nothing's really exciting. Nothing's encouraging me to click. So through the data, we hypothesized or we idealized and came up with a test of running this variation. One thing we did is we added a bestsellers carousel. So we optimized the real estate at the top of the mega menu, and we put in that bestsellers carousel because the data told us that majority of new customers were opening that mega menu. Well, what do new customers want to do? They need to be nudged in a certain direction. As humans, we follow the herd mentality. So let's give people a reason to go and click something. So we put the bestseller carousel in here. More people are therefore FOMOing into a product that we said, other people are buying. We used icons to really draw attention. We even put some social proof in, and then we separated what I call the non-money links. So the non-money links are things like your contact, reviews, FAQs, push them down the bottom. Okay, we see them secondary to the products. This is where we need to push people in the right direction. This simple test, nearly $50,000 in incremental monthly revenue increase for Ezra's brand. Very, very fucking cool. Okay, another big swing here. So we're above the fold. So we surveyed Boom's customers, and it formed us on these PDP updates, so product page updates. So adding some reviews and social proof higher, some visible savings, a sticky add to cart, gallery thumbnails for usability, and we also made the guarantee prominent. So what we did, you can see here, if you have at the moment image carousels, quick thing about image carousels, just a hot tip, more people will scroll through your image carousel in entirety than will go through your whole page. So let that sink in. More people will go through your image carousel than they will scroll through your landing page. So optimize your image carousel. Treat it like a mini landing page. Optimize your images. Add testimonials. Add benefits. Add UGC. Add video. And make that as really prominent as possible. Use seals with guarantees, etc. Also, make sure people are going through it. So how can you do that? Don't use these radial dots. Use actual thumbnails that draw attention and showcase to people there are more images in this carousel. We've moved the social proof higher up. You can see here the stars. One big test we ran with Boom is because this is a pro age brand, it's an older demographic who aren't maybe it's fair to say as used to buying online as say our generation or my generation and younger generations. I'm getting old now, but younger generations are. So they were more concerned about a money back guarantee, and where previously the money back guarantee was still here, but it wasn't collapsed. We just collapsed the box so that information was ready and available for people to see, by the call to action, and more people therefore purchase. Again, nearly $40,000, but most importantly, an extra 50 cents for every person people are sent the Boom are sending to their PDP through paid media, and that's the beauty of CRO. Winning test number 3, cart optimization. So 2 simple things here, guys. 1, we removed the discount box. Now that might sound crazy, but if you don't have active discounts on your site, get rid of the discount box on your cart or your coupon page. The reason is it's a horrible buying experience, especially for the older demographic. People are going to see that box. They're going to go to Google. They're going to search for Boom by Cindy Joseph discount coupon search. And if they can't find, we've all been on these sites, by the way, like coupon sites are the most horrible fucking experience ever. You click on it, you try it, it doesn't work. You click another one, try it. You got an underpop, an overpop. You're getting pop-ups left and right, and you get so fed up, you just end up leaving the site and not buying the product. So kill those boxes if you don't offer a discount. Instead, we added what's called a trust policy bar into the cart itself. So what this is as soon as people hit that cart, we're giving them more positive reaffirmation that we are a real brand. We do that by highlighting the easy returns, the support, the satisfaction guarantee, the money back guarantee to help push people and navigate them further down the funnel. $40,000 in monthly revenue. Test number 4, the collection and label pricing. Guys, I am going to get to all of your questions. Don't worry, put them in the chat. I will get to them at the end of the session. I'm going to fire through these case studies and we'll do some Q&A as well. Collection and label pricing. So this test, we added labels like bestsellers and new. So again, if you are looking at your collection page, there's a couple of rules again, just around collection pages. Your collection pages should do 2 things. 1, showcase your product. 2, let people filter easily through your product. So if you have these huge hero sections with banners, big blocks of text, and you can't even see your product above the fold on mobile, start again. We need to see 2 by 2, and we need to see 4 products above the fold on your mobile. Okay, we need to see we need to be pushed again in that herd mentality. We need to remove decision making and decision paralysis and instead push people in the way of bestsellers, new products, low in stock, trending products. Don't add labels to every single product, but wherever, if it's on your homepage, if it's on your often bought with, if it's on your collection, wherever it is, and you have products side by side, make sure a couple of them stand out by showcasing the bestsellers, etc., using labels. And we also pulled the price point onto the collection page itself. So these buttons here now have prices on them where they didn't before. The reason is Boom is a consumable product. It's makeup. Once you use it, you come back for more. So 1 step to go to your collection page, 2 step to then click view details. Then you're on a PDP. You have to read more information. You then have to click add to cart. Very, very simple. Repeat purchase. Just go to the collection page. You see the price. You add it to the cart from the collection. Doesn't work with every single product or niche, but it worked for these guys. 30K in monthly revenue just from 2 simple changes. Now, this test here, this is where anyone on this workshop under the 300,000 sessions will have the biggest uplift in creating landing pages like this. So Ez and team used LPs before. he's not new to the game. He knows exactly what he's doing, but we just elevated them slightly when we came in. So we redesigned them and we created this LP, which did dramatically well for them. So 5 makeup tips for older women, listicle style, but very native, very organic. We replaced some younger demographic images on the hero section with the demographic that people that the boom was selling to. We increased font sizes. Sounds stupid, but older demographics, you need bigger fonts. We made text scannable. So as before, the text was like all one big paragraph. We had a very clear value-driven proposition headline. We had bullet points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lists, bolded the headlines, made it really easy to read. You need people to come onto your page as if they were 5 years old and know exactly what you're selling and know the benefit that they're getting out of it. We then recreated and redesigned the buy box here to make sure that offer was one, super value driven and benefit driven, but very, very easy and understandable. And this page just crushed it for these guys on cold traffic, 20K per month, but it allowed them to scale before, as said, someone else came and took over. And now we're just working on reinstating these pages because we're gonna drive the business forward again. So I think this is really important to share. I've got 5 more case studies to share with you that I've not shared before, so stick around. But this is really important to share. Okay. These were the tests that we did. 13 tests out of 13, 5 won. So not all of the tests win. I'm not here going, every test you do, they're going to win. No, some tests will lose. More tests will lose than win, but you need to understand, or you need an agency or someone who can understand why that test lost and roll the learnings from the losing test into the next test. And that's what we do for our clients. Guys, who wants to see some more case studies? I will definitely get to your questions, but give me a little yes in the chat if you want me to run through 5 more. Go, go, go. Yes. Guys, it's so crazy to see so many of you on here. And yeah, love it. Thank you so much. Okay, let's do it. And then don't worry, after that, I've got that very kind of special opportunity for all of you on this live workshop. So let's run through it. Okay. Here's another winning test that we got for one of our clients. Really cool clothing brand. AOV was plateauing. So AOV, they were struggling with AOV between $60 and $80. So what we took a bigger swing. We set up full in-cart optimization. You can see we gamified the cart by adding free shipping prompts, thresholds, and free gift thresholds. So not just stopping at free shipping, but pushing it one step further, offering free gifts, unlocking as they spent more money, in-cart upsells. Worked really well. So we used 2 sticker sets, gift cards, and boxer and socks bundle as well. And we increased the monthly revenue here by nearly $60,000, which was awesome. Another test here for you guys. I'm just going to keep adding the value for you, keep hopefully getting your appetite going for CRO and running some tests. This is a product bundle test. So again, this is more of an offer test for cold acquisition, which worked really well for this brand. I mean, huge winning test. These are a big brand, Two Sauvage, big sunglass brand that we work with. Over 180,000 in monthly revenue increase from this test. What did we do? Well, just below the add to cart, we added this bundle option here where you could buy 3 packs of sunglasses and save 20%. Now, again, this worked because they're not buying Gucci sunglasses. These aren't $1,000 sunglasses. These are maybe $30, $40 sunglasses. I bet everyone on this workshop has 3 pairs of sunglasses. You have one at home, you have one in your car, you probably just sat on one when you sat down at your desk. And this works really well for these guys. So we put the bundle here. We then did a custom modal that popped out where you could select your color per one, and the revenue went through the roof. But testing that offer, really important. Another big swing test. So a brand who was originally doing over that 300,000 sessions, but we had massive results here and we redesigned their whole product page. So data basically, when we did that mini audit, suggested that the copy of the product page wasn't aligning with the pain point and desires of the customer. So we took those from post-purchase surveys and from surveying and interviewing, picking up the phone and talking to their customers, and we redefined the above the fold. We redefined the description, but most importantly, we added benefit-driven bullet points. If you have big blocks of text on your product page descriptions, take them, put them into GPT, and tell them to transform them into benefit-driven bullet points. Bold some of the keywords in there, make sure it talks about the outcome and the result that you're going to get for your consumer, not the shiny objects or the features. What is it going to do for your customer in simple, scannable text? Massive, massive win here. 2 million in nearly incremental revenue per year. Again, a huge swing, a big hero redesign of the homepage. They suggested increasing clarity on what the product is and who it's for and why you would use it would improve user trust and engagement. So we tested a redesigned homepage hero section with an enhanced UX and UI with trust building elements. So again, you can see this versus this. We pushed the social proof up. We had a nice clear headline, benefit-driven bullet points right here, nice image of the product, clear CTA, which was supported by trust seals. So these are seals like money back guarantee, over 10,000 happy customers, vegan friendly, made in the US, whatever you want to say, whatever makes you trusted as a brand, put it here, and then featured in logos as well. So this brand was featured by a lot of brands as well. So we put that in the messaging as well. And then last but not least, before we get into that offer for you guys, the sales page above the fold. So this was a sales page. Again, we redesigned. We followed similar stuff. We took bigger swings. We introduced a trust policy bar, a higher converting headline that was outcome driven, benefit driven bullet points, one clear call to action. Again, explain on that clear call to action what happens once it's clicked and where exactly people are going in your journey. If you don't know, something like shop bestsellers probably typically works the best. And we used the post-purchase insights to find common objections and friction points. This was a really cool one. This was actually a sandal brand that sell these beautifully handcrafted sandals. And through post-purchase survey data and through surveying their audience, we asked them what almost stopped you from buying the product. And most people said, we didn't know the quality of the leather was good enough. So we didn't do, and originally the client didn't do a good enough job articulating that friction point on the homepage. So we changed the whole hero copy to focus around the artship and the craftsmanship of how high quality the leather was, where the leather was sourced, that it was handcrafted, and the quality of these sandals and the leather were so well thought of and high quality that conversion rates went through the roof, 77K in monthly incremental increases. Guys, we've got something special for you before we get into that Q&A. I don't want to be the guy here who's pitching you special pricing and offers. All I want to say to you guys is we consistently get results. These are results that we got over the last 6 to 12 months for clients. I literally have pages and pages. You can go to our site. We've got a page called reviews. We've got over 500 five-star reviews. We've got pages and pages of case studies, monthly incremental uplifts for brands of all sizes, no matter what the size your brand are, whether you're a 120 million a year brand that we work with, or you're just getting started. We will work with you. We will get results with you. I'm going to get sick of going through these because there are so many of them. And all I want to offer to you, sorry, I didn't realize there were so many in here, but all I want to offer to you guys is the following. Take out your phone. If you're watching this workshop or you're watching the replay, just take out your phone now. It will make sense why on the next page. Take out your phone. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Take out your phone. Everyone get their mobiles out. Scan this QR code, or you can go to conversionwise.com/Zipify, and we are going to offer a limited amount of CRO growth plans. So what that means is you'll get redirected to a type form. You'll fill in some important information about your brand, just around sessions and your store URL. And we will then book in a call with you, and we will take you through a free comprehensive CRO growth plan where we will suggest, with no obligation to use us as an agency, we will suggest and tell you exactly what you need to be doing for the size of your brand to increase your profit per visitor, to dramatically increase your store revenue and smash the rest of 2025. This is my promise to you. We've got a limited amount, so take your phone out, take a picture now, go and do this now, or save this link on your computer. If you're doing this after the workshop, or on the replay, you might be lucky enough still to get a space, but I presume these are going to fill up because we've got hundreds of people on the call. And yeah, we can't wait to talk to you. There's no obligation. It's just a free plan for you guys. You can take it, you can go and do it yourself, or you can utilize us. But hopefully that was informational, guys.